Good morning. It's a beautiful but chilly Sunday morning, and I decided today that I wanted to come to my favorite river early in the morning before most of the world is awake, and I really felt like I need to do just a cold plunge into the river. And the reason I'm feeling like I wanted to do that is because lately I've been struggling with my mind being very busy. I've been going through some stressful events, and I was asking my body recently what it needed from me to help me work through the stress and busyness that I've been going through. And the thing that came to mind was to refresh and reset. And one of the best ways I know how to do that is to just bask in nature, do some forest bathing, just immersing myself in a forest. And then I had the visualization that a way that I could take that even further is to take a plunge in the river. For me, water has just always had a very special place in my heart. I feel like water just really helps me cleanse, and that's the main message that I was getting from my body, was that I needed a good cleanse just to clear my mind, to reground myself, to get back to my center and find peace and trust, further peace in the things that I'm going through right now, knowing that everything's going to work out. Sometimes when you just really have a deep cleanse, for me that's like going in the water or just sitting in a forest for a long period of time. That's the way that I cleanse. So today, even though it's really cold, I'm gonna just do my best just to do a quick dip in the water. I know it's gonna be cold, but I feel like that's just what my body's really needing right now, just to kind of recalibrate myself and be able to get back to my normal state of well-being and peace and relaxation. So let's do it. Oh my gosh, that is cold. That is cold. Okay, that was really cold. Oh my goodness. I feel so rejuvenated though. I feel like, I feel like I'm buzzing with energy. But there's also something very calming about it too. I don't have a lot of experience with cold plunging, but from my experience, what it feels like is it feels like a rush at first, like you're really cold and you're shivering, and it's like, whew, it's just like a lot of energy surging through you. But then I feel like shortly after, your mind kind of relaxes and you kind of feel like you've taken a huge deep breath, like a big inhale and exhale. Like I feel like my mind is just, like my mind feels so calm right now, even though my body is working to get back to warming itself up. Like, you know, my physical body needs to kind of recoup after that, but my mind feels so good and clear now. And the reason I feel like I needed that, I kind of explained a little bit before I went in, but recently I went on a trip and it was just a very busy trip. There was a lot going on, and if you saw my last video, I explained that there was a big decision that I made while I was on that trip that I wasn't expecting to have to make in that time period. So making that big decision compounded with the trip just being very busy and me not having a lot of time to relax and to be with my own presence and be able to do my regular wellness routines and mindset routines, like meditating every morning. I wasn't able to do those things on this trip that I was just on, so that was leading to me just feeling like I was more overwhelmed and more stressed than I normally am. So ever since I've gotten home, I've just been focusing on recalibrating and getting back to my routines and doing the things that make me feel my best. And that's why today I came to the river, because this is one of my favorite places near my house where I just come just to be and live in the present moment. And because I have been dealing with more stress lately and it's been affecting my well-being, like I haven't been sleeping well lately, for example, my mind has been more busy, I've been having more stressful thoughts that I've been entertaining and not managing and stopping in their tracks, because I've just been kind of probably too much just letting myself go on and on with these stressful thoughts instead of trying to redirect my thoughts. That's ultimately why I feel like I had to come to the river, and why I had to feel like, and why I felt like I also had to go take a dip in the river, because water in itself is just such a cleansing thing. And sometimes when you're in this loop of negative thinking or stress or anything like that, sometimes you just need to do something a little more drastic just to kind of recalibrate yourself and tell your body and mind that we are changing direction now. We are going in a new thought process. We are navigating away from this spiral that we've been in so that we can start anew and we can go back to a place of recalibrated, in alignment living again. So I feel like I just had to do that dip this morning just to kind of communicate that message to my mind and body that yes, we have been going through a stressful time right now, and it's okay to be stressed. It's normal to be stressed. It's part of being human, but it's also time to stop that pattern and get back to our wellness, get back to being who we truly are, get back to that place of well-being and balanced living and living in alignment again. So I feel like that was the perfect reset that I needed today. That's the perfect reset I needed. I just needed to get my body into this cold water just so I can reset completely and redirect myself and start feeling optimal and start feeling better again. So now that I'm here, now that I've done the plunge, I'm just going to relax for a little bit and just sit beside the river and just listen to the sounds of the river, because that is super soothing for me as well, and just going to rest and recharge a bit. That was so lovely, sitting by the river. I've definitely warmed back up since the cold plunge, but I'm still feeling a bit chilly, particularly my feet, so I am going to relocate to a place with some more sunshine. One thing I really want to emphasize on is that you can be someone like me. You can be somebody that knows about mindset and knows about the way that our thoughts happen and the way that our mindset works, and you can still go through phases like I've been in where sometimes you fall out of alignment and you don't always feel your best, and you become a victim to falling into those negative thought patterns. And that's totally and completely okay. That is so normal. We are all humans, and we can never fully function perfectly all the time, right? We're gonna have our weak moments, and we're gonna have some moments of downfalls, and we're gonna have some moments where we can rag on ourselves and try to tell ourselves that we should know better. Like, we have the knowledge and we should know better to not be falling into those pitfalls of negative thinking or spiraling or getting stuck in a stressed state. We can tell ourselves that, or we can tell ourselves that it's okay to fall out of alignment sometimes because we're human. It's part of the human experience. It's all part of our learning and growth and evolution. And we can meet ourselves with self-compassion instead of self-judgment. I think that's a really important thing, because I know throughout my personal development journey, there have been times where I have been in negative cycles and I have been hard on myself. I've told myself I should know better. I have the knowledge. Why am I doing this to myself? But then I did reach a point one day of realizing that it's all part of the experience, and that we are supposed to have these negative or contrasting experiences in order to become more enlightened, or in order to grow, in order to learn something. So you're never going to get to a place where you're fully, perfectly in alignment all the time, 24/7, because there's going to be no growth or learning from that. You have to have these moments of contrast and of negativity and of struggle in order to grow. So the one thing I really want to come across in this video is that it's okay to have these low moments. It's okay to not feel good all the time, because it's all part of the experience. And the best thing that you can do is meet yourself with self-compassion and understanding and love and care, and not judge yourself for these moments, because they're all part of the journey. And the final thing I wanted to say is that when we do fall out of alignment, like I said, it's perfectly fine and perfectly okay to have those moments where you struggle a bit and you find yourself finding it harder to get back into alignment. But with that, we do have the power to get ourselves back into alignment, to take action, to recognize that we are in a place, in a state of mind that we no longer want to be in, and we can take the steps to get ourselves out of that place. That's what I've done here today. That's what my goal was today for visiting the river, is to get myself back into a place of alignment, because the time that I had struggling with being out of alignment, that time served me, that time was important. But it was also time to move on from that state and get back to my regular state of being, to feeling good, to feeling healthy, to feeling optimal and vibrant. So I'm so glad that I gave myself the time this morning to do that work, to recalibrate. Because now I'm going to move forward and I'm going to have an awesome rest of my day, because I took this time to recalibrate and recenter myself. So just know that you have the power to do that as well. The power is within you to shift your mindset to find more peace, to find more happiness, to find healing, whatever it is that you feel like you're missing or needing more of in your life. You are such a powerful being, and you can achieve anything that you want to achieve.